Hello everyone, it's Galina and thank you for joining me. Today I'm going to create a fun shaker card using inlaid die cutting technique. I'm going to use a new die from Studio Katia called Cupcake Shaker die and my all-time favorite nesting oval dies. To make this card quick and easy using quite tricky inlaid die cutting technique, I'm going to use a double-sided adhesive. If you don't have a large adhesive sheets, you can use a regular double-sided adhesive tape. I'm going to put this adhesive sheet on the back side of my ivory color cardstock. I'm pressing it well to my cardstock and I'm cutting off the excess paper with adhesive. I can save this little adhesive sheet for my future project. And now I have a cardstock with the adhesive on the back side. I'm going to run it through my die cutting machine with two dies at once. I'm placing my oval die and cupcake shaker die in the center. All dies cut well even with thick adhesive on the back side, and here I have my shaker window with the cupcake die cut. The cupcake shaker die cuts a lot of small pieces that can be used at once or separately. It has a nice shape of cupcake, thin frame and some inner pieces. For my card, I will need all those parts. And because I placed adhesive already on my cardstock, all my die cut pieces are sticky on the back side. In the same way, I cut out one more shaker cupcake. I cut out from white glitter cardstock, and again I placed adhesive sheet on the back side before die cutting. Now I'm going to color my cupcake. I'm placing cream parts back into the outline die cut to make the coloring process easier. I want to create a multicoloring cream top on my cupcake, so I'm going to use some distress inks and blending brushes from Studio Katia. I'm going to blend some red, yellow, green and blue colors on my cupcake cream. I'm trying to apply my inks light-handed to create a pastel color cupcake cream. I can find a right shade of brown ink in my stash, so I'm going to color the bottom of my cupcake with a light brown Copic marker. And after my coloring is done, I can create my shaker base. In the backing paper from my oval die cut, I'm going to cover it with a transparent acetate sheet. I already have my pre-cutted piece and I'm pressing it down to my cardstock. That I can cut off the excess of my acetate and I have my shaker window done. I placed a lot of foam tape over the acetate sheet to create dimension for my shaker elements. My shaker I'm going to use new rainbow clay stars. I placed a small amount of them on my craft card panel and I removed some bright colors from there so they will match my colors on a cupcake cream. I cover up the clay stars with my oval shaker base. At last moment I decided to change colors on my card just a little bit, so I need to color my thin cupcake frame with a dark brown color. So I color it with my marker and so I'm going to color my glitter die cut with another brown marker, and I'm coloring only on the bottom of the die cut, so my cream will be still white. I can put all the die cuts on my card panel. This process reminds me playing with puzzles. I'm putting all die cut pieces one by one, and all my die cut parts have adhesive on the back side, so the process is super fast. At first I place the outline frame on my acetate window, and then I place the other parts. I decided to adhere the both cupcake die cuts to create an extra dimension on my oval card panel. Then I simply pop in other small parts of my cupcake. To create a sentiment, I'm going to use a heat embossing technique. I want to emboss my sentiment with white powder on a dark brown cardstock, but again, I'm going to make my own brown cardstock. I colored the white paper with a dark brown marker E79 and I leave it to dry just for a minute, and I cover up with my anti-static powder, and then I'm going to stamp my sentiment. I'm using a small sentiment from the new stamp set called Floral Cake. I stamp it with a clear Versamark ink and I cover up my sentiment with a fine detailed white embossing powder. I melt the powder with my heat gun and I'm going to cut off the stripe using my craft knife. I adhered my sentiment stripe over the cupcake and now I'm going to add more shine on my card. I'm going to embellish my card with new sparkling round gems. They are super shiny and I'm adhering them using Studio Katia liquid glue. After some time it will dry clear. Here's my finished inlaid shaker card with a cute cupcake with stars inside. I hope you like this video. Full supply list you can find in the video description below. Don't forget to subscribe and I will see you next week. Bye!